Welcome to the first episode of Off the Script. I'm your host, Olivia, and wow, this has been a long time coming. So, I would say this podcast was born from a place of heartbreak, healing, and definitely holy alignment. And I knew if I was going to do this, I had to start with someone who's seen me in every chapter. So today I am not alone. I'm joined by my best friend, the person who's hugged me, called me out, prayed for me, hyped me up, and honestly never let me stay broken for too long. Sis, please introduce yourself to the Off the Script family.
Hi, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, okay. We've been waiting for this.
We have.
From YouTube creation to TikTok, I'm like, finally something. But hi, guys. My name is Esther. I am Olivia's best friend, like she said. I didn't know, but now I know.
Okay, well, sister, really.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm excited to be here. Let's see.
I think we've known each other for like, what, 5 years now?
We have.
Yeah.
We've known each other 4 or 5 years, but we've known each other for forever.
Basically.
I don't understand. Like the years says 5, but the brain says I don't think so. I think like before you were born.
Yeah. So like I wanted to break this down into like different, segments, if I can put it that way.
Yeah.
So if we have to go back, before I even knew I was off the script, I would say that like if I had to go back before I even knew I was off the script, I was the girl doing everything right. Graduating law school, being in love, holding on the picture onto the picture of what life, I guess, should look like. And to be honest, I thought I had to earn love, success, and even rest just by being perfect. So I want to know, like, from your perspective, what was I like back then? Like, what do you remember most about me?
When we first met, okay, which will sound very crazy, but when we first met, I just like you were such a driving force. I just thought you were like this one person who had her stuff together. Like it felt like there was no room for mistakes. Like you knew you had to wake up and study. Like you would wake me up to study. Like you held me like at such a high like standard. You're like, you need to study, you need to do those, you can do it. You're very like driven. So it always felt like she has it figured out. Like, yeah, like it's Olivia. What do you mean she's struggling to sleep or whatever? So when I first met you, I really just thought you had all your, not to say you don't have your stuff figured out, but it was such a perfect picture.
Yeah.
Like, so I would look and be like, how do I become like that?
Mm-hmm.
How do I become that? And it used to just push me to be like, okay, wake up at 3. I think that's how you start. But yeah, so that was my first, I guess, perception of you.
I think that's more or less it. But like, I think I didn't realize that back then I was just surviving. Like, I'm so used to surviving that I didn't realize that I was actually surviving and suffering. If I can put it that way, just like I have to be perfect. I have to get it right all the time, and I don't even know what script I was following. I don't know what script I was following, but I know it wasn't mine. I know I was just putting up a picture like this. I don't know if it was society's, my family's, relationships, fear. I don't know, but it was something that was, I was following. But then the breaking point happened.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's a lot.
Oh, it is a lot. I don't even know how to speak about it. Oh my gosh, I hope I don't cry. Oh my word.
Yeah, because we have to. I feel like we've come to a point in our friendship where it's like we go from laughing about the most ridiculous of things to just bawling our eyes out.
Yeah.
Because we're just like, wait a minute. What do you mean the sky is blue today?
Right?
Okay, but why are you crying? So let's get into it.
Oof. Let's get into it. The breaking point. I think I think mid law school, everything was really going fine-ish. At least to everybody else. Everything was going fine, but behind closed doors, it definitely wasn't. Um, I'm just gonna like, long story short, the relationship ended. Like, I don't know what to
I was
say.
about to say, say, girl.
Yeah, like the relationship ended, and I think my faith was also shaken, but at the same time reignited. It was like I didn't know what I was doing, but I was just like, at the same time, I'm just trusting God.
I'm gonna do this.
But yeah, like I was so unsure. I was anxious and unsure, but also very raw. So it was like, okay, we're being Olivia for the first time, no script. Like, what do I do? But I remember feeling like something shifted. Like, I don't know, like this wasn't the life that I wanted anymore. So I don't know if you would remember this, but like, actually, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna ask you, what do you remember about me during that time? Like, be honest. Like, especially like, let's say when the breakup happened.
Okay, so I feel like I kind of saw the break. I didn't see the beginning parts of the breakup. Because like when you say like your breaking point, like I didn't see the emotional side effects, like the getting through someone you had gone through all these things, or the struggle with your faith or coming back to God. And I didn't see that part of it because at that time you had done such a good job of like like putting your life into different compartments.
Yeah, like compartmentalizing.
Yeah, so everything was not affected by everything. So you were going through all this heartbreak and all these things, this hectic stuff, but somehow you were excelling at showing up for people, for school, for family, for work, for your business ideas. And felt like, I hate to say it, but it always feels like you get your best ideas whenever you get hurt. It's a bad thing because I don't know how to say it, but that's what it always felt like. So in those beginning stages, like I didn't know until recently when you told me the whole story. I was like, wait a minute, what do you mean this person did this? But like, and then at that moment, like I didn't actually know what was happening because you never showed it. You still don't. Like you could be going through the most horrendous of things and you would have the brightest smile, which now I've learned, okay, that one's a fake smile. This one's a right smile. This one's a fake laugh. Okay, now we're doing this. But before I didn't know that because I hadn't learned you from an emotional perspective. I've learned you academically and professionally and those parts. And those parts, they never wavered for some reason. But when I got to know like the emotional side of Olivia, and I was like, oh, wait, like, what do you mean you don't have your stuff together? What am I supposed to do now? You know? Yeah. But it also made you feel so much more human because I was like, okay, well, great. Like, I'm sorry you're going through this, but great. So what do we do now? But yeah, so you did such a good job of protecting everyone else from the trauma you were facing that we all just thought you were okay. We didn't know. Like life went on, you posted as usual. Like everything else was normal. Yeah. Until you got behind your bedroom door and you were falling apart. But we were like, no, but she's fine. What do you mean? Like, you know? Yeah. Like if something had to happen back then and they'd be like, Olivia did this to herself, I'd be like, you lie. Because what do you mean she just said yesterday she was looking forward to this? What do you mean? Like, you know? But yeah, so...
I mean, I hate to admit it, but it's true. Like, I don't think I realized it back then. Actually, no, I did. I did. One thing I've always told myself was, no matter what happens, no relationship, no friendship, no anything shouldn't interfere with my education, my work, anything, because you can't blame your partner or your friend for failing. Like that's on you. That's your lack of discipline and, you know, just prioritizing. But when I look back at the whole entire relationship and just everything, I think it had to happen.
I know,
like it had to happen. Like I think that version of me had to die because I think I needed to feel. Because like back then I wasn't really allowing myself to feel. And why am I like kind of shaking speaking about this?
Girl.
So I think back then I wasn't really allowing myself to feel. I was just like, you know what? I was just like, kind of like water under the bridge, I think. But like when the bridge broke, the water came all the way from like I don't know where. But it was great. Not in a good way, but it was great. Like when you're just feeling all these things for the first time. And you kind of just like realizing bits and pieces here and there, just like, wait a minute, I didn't see this before. Like, well, like, but yeah, I think it just had to happen. Like, I think that was the moment where I slowly started living off the script where I was just like, you know what, F it. I'm just, I don't want to swear. Like, I'm just gonna do it because I'm tired of, living for whoever I'm living for. Like, I don't even know who I'm living for anymore. Like, it didn't feel like I was living for myself. So I was just like, I'll figure it out on the way. So I think like 2023 in general, I was spiraling.
What's happening? Because I was going to ask, like, do you think like you can remember like a moment that made you realize like, wait a minute, like I actually don't know what I'm doing apart from obviously the obvious stuff, because the school stuff stays the same. Because at least you have a timetable, you have assignments at a specific date. Those stay the same.
Yeah.
But like without those things, did you start like kind of realizing like, okay, but who is this girl? Like, what does she do without the school and the toxic boyfriend and the relationship that was draining her? Like, how does she then, like, who is Olivia?
Right. I think at a year into the relationship, that actually, like, it pops into my mind just like, wait, who am I without this person? Because I just realized that I hadn't spoken to you in like 4 or 5 months then. And I'm like, wait, I haven't gone out with any of my friends. I haven't spoken to any of my friends. But like, who am I without this person? And I brush it off because I'm like, oh, but like we have a good time. Like, he's my partner, cool. And then the second year in the relationship, it hit me so hard. Like, no, but like, Liv, who are you? Like, you don't even pray the same anymore. You don't even do anything the same anymore. You don't even paint anymore. So at some point, towards the end of the relationship, I was slowly trying to do things for me, but also wanting to bring my partner into it. But then I thought to myself, you can't do that. Like, you have to have some things that are just for you. And the more I did things that were just for me, the more I realized this was not my person. And I think that was like a thing I was avoiding, but I knew from the beginning. It was like, oh my gosh, like reality is hitting. And now all the excuses I made for these, for this person, all these things. It was like, oh gosh, okay. But after, I hate to admit it, but I do remember exactly when. It was in July. Actually, it was July of 2022, where I was like, you know what? If this person doesn't do ABC by the end of the, I actually did give the person an ultimatum. If they don't do ABC by the end of July, I'm going to go ahead and do my own thing. And they did, in fact, start changing, but then my mind was already made up. So in August, I was doing my own thing already. Like, I was slowly becoming, like, kind of not really becoming, I would say I was shedding. I was shedding everything that I was, whatever it was, what I was shedding, but like, I was just shedding. And then when they started becoming the person that, I wanted them to be, I realized that I wasn't the person who wanted that person anymore. I was way past that now. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it's great. Like, I'm happy for you. Like, you're growing into, like, being the person that I know you can be. But it's just not for me anymore. I think I've outgrown you at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, because, again, I guess there's another question adding to what you're saying. So I'm like, I have so many questions. But I'm like, because I know you're literally that kind of a person. Like, there's certain times where you're very, like, immediate with your decision. Like, when you make up your mind, you make up your mind. Like, in that moment. Like, I've seen it. I've seen that switch happen with people where you're like, okay, you're done. And you're done.
Yeah.
Like, you don't give them nothing. Like, I don't need your explanation. Like, I'm not mad at you. It's good. We're good. You're done. And then I've seen you also go from like, we're done. Like, I can see your actions are saying you're done, but I still see you there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, but like, are we done? Because we are trying to make sure that by the time this person leaves, we've been done.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have to watch them suffer and be like, yeah, that's what you get. I've been done, you know, like, because I know, like you say, like, it ended when you first made the decision to give them an ultimatum. Like, in your brain, yes, you gave them the ultimatum, but your brain had already made up its mind. Like, in your mind, you're like, okay, they're going to grow, they might change, whatever it is. But actually, that's not what I want. I don't want the person who I have to tell how to act. Because then what's going to be the next thing? Why we're going to go through that. And then you see them start to change, which is great. But also, I guess there's also questioning, like, are you doing it because you are also seeing that I'm done?
Or because I asked you to.
Yeah, like, is it a genuine thing? Like, I guess my question is, like, what made you still stay even when you knew? Like, you knew you were done. Like, why did you feel the need to still give them a chance? I guess that's what you did, because you gave them a chance to, I guess, not change, but also realize that actually they're not doing the right thing, whatever the end goal of giving them that chance was. But what made you?
Okay. I would say it's not just in friendships, but in relationships too. I'm the kind of person who I want to make sure that from my side, I tried everything that I could to make sure that something worked. So that when it does end, I don't have any regrets and so maybe I should have done this. Maybe I should have done that. So I think, like, I knew, actually, I'm not gonna lie, 1 year into actually 3 months into the relationship, I knew I should have left because this man said the most unhinged thing to me, and it was a huge red flag. But then I was like, but you're so perfect in everything else. Like, you're so perfect in everything else. So, like, it's fine. I'll bypass that. But to answer your question, I always want to give people chances. Like, I want to make sure that I tried my best in every single, like, even like in friendships, because I know I had a friend where she just did, like, we were really close and then she just distanced herself. And I kept giving them chances and chances until I realized, you know what, I'm good.
It's okay.
Like, I tried what I had to do and I did what I had to do. So I guess it's the same thing with this. But it's not just him, even the one after. I think I stayed way past, like, way too long. I guess it's both the positive and the negative. Like, the positive is that I have no regret. When I leave, I have zero regret. The negative is that it does create a bit of a trauma bond.
Yeah.
And it does create a lot of doubt within yourself. Just like, do you not trust yourself the first time you're telling yourself to leave? Do you not, like, you know, so it's positive and negative, but the reason I do like to answer your question is just, I don't want any regrets.
Yeah. Because as your friends, like, from the outside looking in, we're not thinking, like, do you not trust yourself, whatever? Because we know you make sound decisions. I mean, you literally are in charge of our lives. How are you, like, so sound in the decisions that you make on our behalf? So we know, like, in my mind, I'm like, she can see, right? Like, there's no reason. So in my mind, it's more like it's not a why is she still there? It's a what's the reasoning? What is she trying to achieve? And in my mind, there's two options. It's always like this petty Olivia who's really ready to just show you flames. And there's the worst kind of Olivia who actually doesn't care enough to even believe you have your freedom. Like, she's not going to tell you anything. She's not going to warn you. She's just literally going to be there but not be there. Which is, I think, the worst one. Because petty Olivia, at least she's still giving you attention. The other Olivia doesn't care. Like, you could die and but like, she would be there like, I'm sorry, but like,
It's like, oh, okay, cool. Moving on.
it's like air. It's like, you know, like you treat some people like air at some point. And those people, it's because you've literally walked the journey. You've tried, we've seen you try all the steps to give them chances after chances until you're like, actually, I don't have the energy to even tell you to stay away from me.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to have to just figure it out by yourself and leave.
Like, if I ignore you enough, maybe you'll leave.
Yeah, which is worse because then every time you do that to someone, I've seen it with so many of these weird men around you. Whenever you give them that treatment, that's where they're like super obsessed and they come back 10,000 times worse. And I'm like, okay, we're set. Let him cook, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was never like a question of like, is she just blind? It was more like, what is her plan? Like, what is about to happen to this man?
I mean, ooh, can I talk about it here? Like, with every single one of them, there was a plan, actually. Okay, sure, the bigger picture is no regret, but Petty Olivia was still there.
And like, she's been doing it for the plot, guys. Guys, this word should be banned in this fat friendship. Like, Olivia is not allowed to do this.
Anything for the plot. No. You know what? I think I'm still figuring it out, but I'm choosing myself now.
That's good.
And unfortunately for Petty Olivia, I am taking your advice. So as of today, oh my gosh, listeners are literally listening to this and I have to stick to it. I am not doing anything for the plot anymore.
Okay, guys. As someone who's been through this for years, we'll see.
No, but I'm serious.
We'll hold you accountable. Like, it's like, the problem is, I don't even think you realize you've switched to Petty Olivia.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't think you do. So there's like no way to control it because you realize that there's a moment where you literally like shut up and you kind of have like this look in your eye where you're like, wait a minute, Olivia, what did you just do? And then you don't even try to acknowledge what you just did. You try to move on and change topics. But we're like, we were here. We witnessed.
We saw that.
We were there, girl. So, I mean, I'm rooting for you. But you got this. You can do it.
I mean, yeah, I'm trying. I mean, right now, I think I don't want to say I'm chasing, but I'm after, I don't want to say perfection, but purpose.
That's okay.
And I want to find that purpose in God. Because what's the point of finding your purpose outside of God if you still need God to help you achieve the purpose, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, like, trying my best to heal, starting businesses. Oh, that's another thing. I think I was just avoiding a lot of things, a lot of my feelings. Because you said I thrive in terms of businesses when I'm like hurt. That's so true. Like, I have over 100 business ideas, by the way. Like, I would love to pitch it to people.
I know.
But I'm trying. Like, I'm praying, I'm growing, I'm trying my best to stay on top of things, and the only way I can survive it all is routine. Because I think the worst thing that happened to me last year was going to the doctor. I shouldn't have. Well, I needed to, but I think when he said, like, you know, like when he officially diagnosed me with anxiety, it made everything so real. So I think to cope, I was just like, okay, routine. Like, you have to stick to routines. That's the only way you can cope. But also, that when I look back, that's the only way I coped growing up as well. You know, I had a routine even when, like, in high school. Even though I was doing so many things, I still had a routine. Like, I knew when I needed to do what. Yeah. And I still made time for my procrastination. But I do have a question. Exactly. I do have a question. Like, how would you describe who I am now?
Now, I have to say, like, first and foremost, it feels like you're on fire for God.
Mm.
Like, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy to say because we've always been for God. But I feel like this past year, especially, like, I'm not going to say 6 months, but the past year,
Yeah.
it's just been like, I've seen you like grow in your faith. Like, to the point where, like, I know, you know, like when they say, no, I choose my fighter. Like, I know. It's that. And it's not like a superficial, weird, like, I need people to see it kind of vibe. It's for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's making faith decisions for you, like choosing to veil, like actually thinking about why you're doing this for this or why. And like, it's just so cool to just watch. So that's been like such a one of those things, like your faith has just been like, yeah, it's been so inspirational because it's like, okay, no, but like, I think it's lacking, Esther, because what do you know? And then as a human being, I've also seen you be very decisive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're not very decisive about what you're gonna eat or
Not the little
certain
things.
things. But I've seen you go from not being able to do something because it makes you feel anxious and doing it because you know it makes you feel anxious to the point where you're almost trying to prove your anxiety wrong, which I don't know if it's like a good thing or a bad thing, but it feels like you're fighting against your anxiety. You're like, yeah, you're going to give me a tax, but I am going to do it.
Mm.
Then in the end, who's going to win? I'm going to have this finished thing that I started. You're still gonna be there, maybe, yeah, whatever. But like, I've done it.
Yeah.
And then I've seen you be in that process of like, I'm anxious, but guess what I did? I actually studied for this. I actually did this for this. And actually, yeah, so I've seen you grow in those terms. I also seen you realize who you were, like what you're actually capable of. Because I know you've always known what you're capable of. But I feel like you're more vocal about how you think other people or like what you think they're supposed to do, what they're capable of, or how they should do it. Whereas when it comes to yourself, it's like you don't give yourself the same grace.
Mm.
You always like, yeah, I can do it. But then you're like, you say it, but your actions don't look like you believe what you're saying the way you believe. Let's say you be telling me what I can do. So I'm like, dude, like, how do you not match those two things? If you can do it for me, imagine how big it would be for yourself, because that's more pouring into yourself, which I've seen you do. And then I've also seen you do a toxic thing.
Oh, what toxic thing?
Where you are so passionate about growing other people to the point where it feels like it's to your own downfall.
Yeah.
Like, you invest so much time and energy into other people's growth that I'm like, okay, but like, are we going to do that for ourselves? And you almost kind of don't want to hear that as well. So you're like, yeah, but I'm still doing this. So you waste so much time that you need to be doing something else. Like, say you're studying, you know you're supposed to be studying, but somebody comes to you and says, oh, Olivia, I'm going through this in a relationship. Next thing you become a therapist and the books are closed. You stay a whole night talking to like a random stranger on the internet, giving them solid advice that you should probably use for yourself, but you're busy using it on them. And I'm like, excuse me, we are supposed to be doing this. So what is this? So I think that's one of like the only negative thing I've seen you start to do. I mean, it's great in the sense that you're able to help people, but for yourself, it's horrible. Like, I don't know what you do.
No, true. I think that's partially why I wanted to get into psychology as well, like from the get-go. But you mentioned my relationship with just God and my faith in general. And you also questioned me, and you asked me a question earlier, but it didn't start randomly. It started as a result of the relationship I have with that person. And I remember I think it was December of 2022 going into January of 2023, where I just had this feeling like I had no time, like I don't have enough time. And I kept saying this person because we were very lukewarm Christians. And I was a little bit lukewarm. And I think I went into being like super cold Christian. I wasn't even lukewarm. Like we're just both cold at some point. So like I had this weird feeling. Like it felt like a conviction. Where the Holy Spirit was just telling me, girl, you need to get on your game. So I remember having a conversation. Actually, I had several conversations with him. I told him, I don't have time for this. We don't have time for this. If you're serious rather about, starting a family or whatever, we need to get right with God. Like we have to do this. And it was always like kind of brushing it off to the point where it kind of just added to the list of reasons why we need to end this. Yeah. So yeah, I just remember like telling him, you know what, I don't really care what you do, but I need to do this for me. I cannot, God willing, become a mom and not have a strong relationship with God, because how am I protecting my family? Like how am I praying for my family if I can't even do anything? Like, I can't even pray for myself. Yeah. So once that happened and I started like tapping more into, just kind of like getting to know God for me, not because somebody else was telling me to, the Holy Spirit went an extra mile, because obviously I'm Catholic, and he was like, let's go the extra mile. Let's turn it up. Let's turn it up and say, you need to start veiling. And I'm like, what? Are you talking about the same girl who would like struggle to find hairstyles for Sunday? Like that same girl must start veiling. And I remember I told my mom in January, okay, I'm gonna start veiling, 2023. I'm gonna start veiling. No, I'm lying, sorry, 2024. I told her I'm gonna start veiling. And she was like, okay, cool. Do you think? And every time it will be on Sunday, I'll wear it. And then I'll leave the house and not remove it. Like, I was just like, I can't do this. So it was like on and off, on and off. And I think I started first with like just carrying my shoulders. And then I remember it was in August. One of my favorite priests, Father Eduardo, he was leaving the parish, that specific parish, and it was his last mass. And he was talking about the rosary and how he prays the rosary, like the one rosary that I think it was his mom or grandmother gave it to him when he was like very young. And it was so funny because throughout the year, I was, asking the Virgin Mary to kind of just like give me the same strength that she had, like to veil. So when that happened, and like when he was speaking about that, I don't know, like something in me kind of just shifted. Where, because I had my veil with me, and as I was going out to communion, I kind of just wore my veil. And then since that day, I never take it off. Like whenever I go to church, I wear it, and it feels weird. Like it feels like I'm almost naked
if you don't
when
have it.
I don't have a veil. So like if I have to go to church to even face something, even if there's no mass, I have to cover my hair. So that's why I always have an emergency veil in my car in case I have to do that. But now I feel like I'm falling behind on that one. I feel like sure, veiling was really just for church at first, but then it also was a personal thing where I wanted to do it when I'm praying. But now, and I was very strict about with that, but now I'm at the place where with everything that has happened this year,
This year's taught us.
honestly, this year has been a lot. Oh my word. With everything that has happened this year, I only veil at church, not when I'm praying at home. And I feel like it's so wrong to the point, like lately when I'm sleeping in a hoodie or something, I just comb my hair with them. It's like, okay, I need to comb my hair. But slowly but surely, with the second half of the year starting, I really, really want to get back into that and just focus more into that and be very intentional about it, because I don't want to be performative.
Yeah.
I feel like my relationships were performative. My life was performative at some point, but the last thing I wanted to be performative is my relationship with God. Like that has to be very honest, raw, intentional, and yeah. But I know I'm not alone. Because I feel like other people can relate to this. Not just like with God, but like relationship wise in general, like just this whole conversation.
I agree. I think with like relationships with God, there's always like you can never say you know him too well or you're too close to him. There's always something he's convicting you about. Like you get over one thing and suddenly you have like such a strong conviction of like something that you never really thought was something that needed conviction. It's just like it's almost like like people like with our purity rings. Most people like don't understand that, but when you're talking about your veil, I feel the same thing with this purity ring. I don't even like it's not even to explain to anyone why I have it, but because I know why I wear it, what my relationship with God is, what conversations I have with God about it. I don't care what other people think. So when I can't find it, to me, like it almost feels wrong to talk to God about anything that relates to it. So now I'm like having half-hearted conversations with God. I'm like, thanks for the weather. It's cool, dude. Like, what am I supposed to say? Because now it feels like most people be like, oh, you don't need it. To me, it's a thing. Like, I've had a conversation with God. I've agreed to this with him because I felt such a strong conviction towards something. And what other people think, what they say, it means nothing. Because the first days you feel shy. You're like, okay, but like, okay.
Yeah.
You're like, why am I, Then soon, like, you're like, I don't care. Like, ask me. I will answer your questions. I don't need to, but like, it's my thing. People have their own thing. We have our own thing.
I'm so glad you brought that up, actually. Like, as you can see, I'm wearing it now on my right-hand side, right? Ring finger on that right-hand side. I used to wear it on my left-hand side. But the thing is, I stopped wearing it, when was it? Like, when I was in grade 4. Because I always had one.
Yeah.
And it was on my left-hand side, middle finger.
Yes.
And, oh, this is so embarrassing. I jumped a wall. Don't even ask me why. I jumped a one-meter wall. Landed on the other side, landed on a brick, my finger broke, right? So both my ring finger and my middle finger broke. So they had to like do their thing. But mostly it was my middle finger and I had to, like, it was a 360 twist. So it had to be retwisted and that was the worst pain ever. But that's besides the point. So since then, I was just really scared of ever wearing anything that I would have to stick with it, like because my finger was broken and I had to like remove it. So now that was like even more pain.
Yeah.
So now I was just like very scared. I'm just like, I don't want anything on my hands. Like I don't want rings. I don't want anything. But I think it was, when was it? Was it last year or the year before? When I finally was able to start wearing it again. Yeah. And I don't think
it was last year actually.
I don't take it off. I mean, I shower with it. I bought. Oh, that's the same thing. I shower with it. I do everything with it. But I think I'm losing weight because it's coming off really easily. I lost it the one time, and I'm like, I panicked, and I told my mom, I don't know what happened. I lost my ring. She's like, maybe you removed it. I'm like, no, I never removed it. And it was just there, like, on the floor. I'm like, what is happening? Like, do I need to get it resized? I need to get a different one? But, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I just realized something.
What's up?
Like, on a point. You see this?
Yeah. But is that, like, content?
Podcasting content.
Oh, my gosh. Isn't that what we're doing right now? Dude. Okay, so let me just like explain real quick. So Esther has her vision board up, I also have mine up, but on hers there's literally a whole entire podcast thing, and we're literally in the middle of recording a podcast together. So that's so cool. So cool. Like, I love the way God works.
Coming back to topic.
Yeah, sorry, back to topic, back to being focused. But I actually have 3 questions for you.
For me,
yeah, like I want to do something fun, and I'm going to ask. Actually, let's ask both of us.
Okay.
A few questions off the script.
Okay.
Off the script questions.
Not planned.
Just truth.
Okay. Drink something.
You probably knew that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the first question is, what's one belief you had about yourself that you had to completely let go of?
Okay, first of all, that is crazy.
I know.
Because that's my first question for my podcast.
You lie.
I swear.
Oh
What's
my
the first
God.
thing you remember believing about yourself that wasn't true?
Oh my gosh. Okay, go for it.
That is so yeah, okay. But the first one, I think like that I was too sensitive. Like being soft. I've always believed, like I've always been made to feel like it wasn't a strength, like it was a weakness. Like because you're an older sibling, why are you sensitive? You need to be strong. Like, yeah, grow, whatever that means.
Mm.
But yeah, that was I guess one that I've had to I kind of still work through it still. Like I struggle with emotion. I don't know. Like it's the most weirdest thing to me, which makes me feel like my body's broken because then I will hold those tears back. And then I'll see a bird fly and look like the feathers don't look right or something. And I'll just start crying. And I'm like, where were the tears when I needed them? So yeah, that was too sensitive. That word triggers me still, but yeah. You?
Oh my gosh. You know what? I asked you this question. I did not really think about it, but I think there's so many things. What's one belief I had about myself that I had to completely let go? I think I'm still working on it, really, but the fact that I'm a burden to others. And that's why I don't really overshare much, and I don't really kind of like, if I'm going through something, I'll tell you after the fact, not during it, because I understand people have their own lives going on, so I don't really want to feel like I'm burdening you with like whatever I'm going through. But I'm learning to kind of just speak up. But don't give me that look. Okay, I'm trying to learn to let go of that. But I have a very specific question to ask you.
I was going to say, one of the most things that annoys me about you, like one of the most things I was just like, I'm gonna slap this girl, is this very thing that you just said.
I'm trying to
I think we once had a phone call where I literally told you how pissed off this makes me for a whole hour. Because I was like, what do you mean?
I remember you just like kept talking for a whole entire hour. I was just like, damn, like, I was like, she's angry.
I was like, and I kept repeating myself the same, like, what? So, okay.
That's cool. The second question though is, what's one thing 2023 taught you?
2023?
Yeah, we are going way back.
Yeah, okay. 2023 was a weird year for me because it was a mixture of like bittersweet. Because I graduated, got my first job, and it felt like things were falling into place for a second. No. But 2023 taught me that like hard work pays off. Like it's one thing for other people to believe in you, but believing in yourself is an even greater strength. Because then you're actually able to achieve stuff when you believe in yourself. Like when someone else believes in you, you try work and mold yourself in what they've told you they believe in you. But when you believe in you, you know what you're capable of. You know what your like shortcomings are. So I had to learn like, actually, you are smart. Like you can do this. Like,
but you've always been smart.
But like, yeah, but then you're not getting 100%. You're getting 95%. Where's the 5%?
Exactly.
Like, what do you mean? Yeah, but like, I had to learn, like, believe in yourself. You're actually good enough. Like, you know what you're doing.
So would you say it was like a imposter syndrome type of thing, or?
I definitely was. It was, no doubt.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oof, I think for me, and it kept slapping me in the face. I hated it. And like, as you were speaking, I had to write this down because I think the Holy Spirit was just like, I'm going to make you write this down so you don't forget. And it's when God takes you out of something you prayed for, like you prayed to, get out of. Stop going back into
Olivia.
it.
BACK. Why?
Because when I think about it, in December of 2022, I prayed to get out of, a certain situation. And I did. In January, more or less. I did. Ask me why I went back in February. Yeah. Ask me why I got out of it again. And ask me why I went right back into it again. And then out of it. It was just like, oh my gosh, to the point where at the end of the year, I just said myself, I'm just like, Olivia, seriously, what the hell?
What are you doing? Yeah.
What the hell? Like, you literally, like, do you not remember all those times, all those sleepless nights rather, where you were crying to God, like, get me out of the situation. And he got you out, and you are running right back. Are you okay?
And when you ran back, that's when the person was like 2.0.
Exactly.
Because that's where the car stuff happened. Dude.
Oh my God. I was like, it was insane. It was insane. But last question. Oof. It's a heavy one, this one. Brace yourself. What does living off the script mean to you in one sentence?
In one sentence. How long can a sentence be? But else would have it's not a yeah, okay. Living off the script for me means living in a way that has nothing to do with what human beings think I should be doing, or what they think life should look like, or the path one should take. So not like the way that's set out, what's normal for society. The opposite of that is how living off the script means, like what it means for me. Like doing exactly, looking at everything, the whole list of like, okay, you need to be this, you're this, you're this, you're this, and going, nope, I'm going that way.
Yeah.
Whatever you say, I'm going to do the opposite of that. Or not even the opposite, just not that. Yeah, so that's what it looks like. But it's also like a two-way street, because it's like living off the script of what the world thinks, but sticking to the script that God has set in place.
100.
That is literally like, I'm off this script so I can go onto that.
Yeah.
That, because that one, I can't do much about it, unfortunately. But yeah.
And that's actually exactly what I was going to say. Well, not exactly, but like the second part. For me, living off the script literally means, okay, first of all, God, I am sorry. I'm human, okay? So I have a plan for myself. I know you have a plan for me, but I have a plan for myself too. So living off the script means, occasionally forcing God to align his plan with my plans, but knowing that whatever I'm doing, it's all for the glory of God. As long as it's glorifying God in some way, to me, that's like completely off the script. Because a lot of people will tell you, like, for example, quitting your job. If God tells me to quit my job, I will do it.
I'll do it.
Like, I'm not going to question it. Like, I will do it. Okay, but like, if he tells me, go swim, okay, please don't, because I'm going to drown. I'm not about to swim, okay?
Probably not God, because he knows you. So exactly. He's not going to tell you to.
Exactly. But I think a lot of people would be scared of it. But honestly speaking, if God told me to quit my job, I would do it. So living off the script literally means living on God's script. I think that's what it means to me in one sentence.
Yeah. It's exactly the same thing.
Yes. But thank you so much for being here today. But most importantly, just for being there for me every single day. Like, honestly. And to everyone listening, this is just the beginning where we're going to tear up the plans that never belong to us. Like, whatever blue script somebody wrote for you, we are tearing them up. So we're going to step into softness, success, and I don't want to say holiness, but let's say spirit, because I do believe that we are, spiritual beings going through a human experience.
Yeah.
So, yes, and we're becoming women who love themselves loudly and live on purpose. So here's your reminder for the week. You are allowed to shift. You are allowed to start over. And most importantly, you are allowed to go off the script. Now, because this was a conversation earlier, I think it's only fair that next week I delve into the breakup that broke me.
We need to talk about the man.
And the truth God showed me in the middle of it. So you wouldn't want to miss it. Until then, stay soft, stay grounded, and stay off the script.